tucked behind the quiet lanes of Lowestoft, in the churchyard of St. Peter's at Carlton Colville, lie 6 Commonwealth war graves. Ordinary headstones, each one a window into an extraordinary life. Today, we would tell the story of 3 of those names, not from great battles, not from famous cemeteries, but from a small Suffolk village that remembers its sons. One was a Royal Navy veteran who survived the Battle of Jutland, only to die decades later in a second war. One was a Royal Marine who died in hospital just days before D-Day, struck down not by bullets but by illness. And one was a young RAF airman who never returned from a night flight over England. 3 graves, 3 families left behind, and 3 stories that deserve to be heard. Born on the 10th of December 1878 in Carlton Colville, Leonard Claude Chase was a son of George and Phyllis Ann Elizabeth Chase. He began life as an agricultural labourer and later became a fisherman, a man of the sea, tied to the tides of Suffolk. During the First World War, Leonard joined the Royal Naval Reserve on the 12th of December 1914, serving aboard HMS Comus during the Battle of Jutland, the largest naval battle of the war. He survived. He served through the war and was demobilised in 1919. He married Laura Mary Berryman and returned to civilian life, but war found him again. In 1940, now aged 62, Leonard was working aboard the fishing trawler Carry On. Repurposed as a barrage balloon drifter in the Thames estuary, on the 17th of December 1940, after sailing slowly through mine-infested waters, the Carry On struck a mine and exploded. All 7 aboard were killed. He had survived one war, only to be killed in another. Leonard Claude Chase was laid to rest in his home parish of Carlton Colville. His grave bears the words, "A cheerful smile, a heart of gold, are the memories we will always hold." Born on the 18th of July 1921 in Lowestoft, William Ward Hall was the son of Arthur George and Vivita Maud Hall. Before joining the military, he worked as a wooden box maker, a craftsman, not a soldier. In 1941, he married Hazel Irene Bridge. They had barely begun their life together. By 1944, William was stationed at the Royal Marine Barracks, Eastney, but became unwell and was admitted to Royal Naval Hospital, Haslar, in Portsmouth. On the 2nd of June 1944, just 4 days before the D-Day landings, William died of a perforated duodenal ulcer, pelvic peritonitis and bronchopneumonia. He was just 22 years old. He didn't fall in battle, but his war ended all the same. His grave inscription reads, "Asleep in God's beautiful garden, free from all sorrow and pain." Born on the 21st of July 1916 in Wood-Dallin, Norfolk, Ernest Samuel Frostwick was the son of Henry James and Julia Ada Frostwick. He worked as a carpenter and joiner before the war and married Joyce Evelyn Edith Willamot in 1942. He enlisted into the Royal Air Force Volunteer Reserve and trained as a wireless operator and air gunner, a role that combined 2 critical responsibilities: maintaining radio communications with base and manning a defensive turret to protect the aircraft from enemy fighters. On the night of the 27th of April 1943, Ernest was part of a crew flying in Blenheim L8850 from RAF Wing, Buckinghamshire, on a night training cross-country navigation exercise. Something went terribly wrong. The aircraft exploded mid-air and crashed near Stukely, Buckinghamshire. The cause of the crash was never determined. Ernest was just 26 years old. He was buried in a private family grave at Carlton Colville, a quiet homecoming for a young man who never made it back to base. Leonard Chase, William Hall, Ernest Frostwick, 3 men, 3 headstones in a quiet Suffolk churchyard. Not everyone dies in famous battles. Some fall from the sky, some go down at sea, and some never leave a hospital bed. But every loss matters, and every name tells a story. If you found these stories meaningful, please consider subscribing and leave a comment if you've ever visited Carlton Colville or have a family member who served. Because remembrance isn't just about numbers, it's about names, it's about lives, and it's about never forgetting, lest we forget. If you like listening to the stories of the history of those who came before, then please give the video a like and subscribe to keep updated about future videos of the history of those who came before.